Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the free agent signee Nick Foles and the Jacksonville Jaguars as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time. But admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
Josh Lambo now ready to put this one in the air. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Ravens, led by the leading rusher amongst quarterbacks in 2018. In his second season now, Lamar Jackson. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson, and nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
Let's get a little bit bigger light shined right here because we're talking about two guys, cornerbacks Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye, maybe the best tandem in the NFL. Both physically able to dominate receivers. They're textbook examples of shutdown corners. Collectively, they allowed only 2 touchdowns the entire 2018 season.
Draw play, Ingram now. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. This is taken at the 15. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Nick Foles, the man that the Jags are hoping can get them over the hump in 2019. Super Bowl MVP a couple of seasons ago. Made 7 starts if you include the playoffs for the Eagles last year, winning 5 of them. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And that, not a sight you want to see. Leonard Fournette very slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Foles. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
Now it's the former Texan. This is Alfred Blue. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Championship, baby. Double tight, guys, double tight.
Foles on the handoff, going to give it to Blue. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not, and he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
Now Foles, and that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore in the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. On 2nd and 9, Jackson, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court, and we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Foles. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Fournette. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Blue. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 2nd and 12, Foles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now Leonard Fournette. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
From the 24, Foles completes it to Lee. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Foles. The open man is Westbrook. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. Here's Fournette. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. But they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Jackson, they go screen. This is Ingram. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Now Jackson on second down toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. From the 36, Foles. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First touch of the game here for Benny Cunningham. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
And that's one of the reasons you like the blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Open is Swaim, the tight end. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 3rd down, it's Cunningham. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The first throw for the backup, Griffin. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now a draw play with Dixon. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Minshew. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Minshew looking for Pryor long. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll try to counter with Dixon. DeJuan Smoot with the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Running out of the gun with Dixon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Here's Cunningham. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 38, Minshew. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 40.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. They run the counter. Cunningham. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off play action, it's Minshew. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 24-yard line.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Ready? 8, read. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's get this.
First week of the preseason, probably not the pass, the impression that the rookie wants to leave right there.
Yeah, no probably about it, because that's not what you want to do to try and impress your new coaching staff, try to impress your locker room, and most importantly, yourself. Probably spent all night last night saying, don't throw an interception early. Make sure you take care of the football. But now he's got it out of the way. Hopefully he can just settle in and move on.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
RG3 going to bring the Ravens up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. The drive begins with a run by Dixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Griffin throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a 1st down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Doesn't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. And now the throw taken in by Chark. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. This quarterback now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a 1st down. A running play for Rawls. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Set. 10-2 start. 49. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Step.
Back to the ground on 1st. Again, it's Rawls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Here we go.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, tight.
Throwing on 2nd down. Minshew. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So he's been a busy man here in this 1st half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start the drive with Dixon, and he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now Dixon. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have you guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Griffin. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run it with Dixon. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded just inside the 20. The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And we move our focus to Thomas Rawls. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Rawls. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. And his throw's going to be incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready. 94. 96. What we got?
Rawls out of the gun. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Jones on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Let's go, D.
Down they go with Dixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
On 2nd and 12, Griffin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 3rd down, here's Dixon. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. It is back to football for 22 teams here on this Thursday night, minus the Broncos and Falcons who played last week. And we want to remind you that we are now 28 days away from the opener of the 100th season of NFL football. The Packers and the Bears at Soldier Field. In our game, the defenses look to be ready for the regular season. Maybe not the offenses just yet, but still a half to go as we get you back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that one will be accepted. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Rawls.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Draw play, Rawls. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun is Minshew. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Minshew sets to throw. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Got it. 47. Mike's 47. Here we go.
On 2nd and 15 now. Griffin, open receiver. That's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Second year with the Ravens for Hurst. He didn't have the rookie season he was hoping for, just 13 catches. Remember, he's older than the average second-year player. He spent 2 seasons as a pitcher in minor league baseball before hanging up the glove and heading to the gridiron. Now he says he's more determined than ever. Put on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Says he's on a mission with a lot to prove this year. This quarterback now just 2 out of 6 since coming on, but he's got a 1st and 10.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dwayne Smoot just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be taken at the 13. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can pick 6 on the board here. We'll see. They start on the ground with Rawls, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Minshew to throw. He's got Swaim here as tight end outright. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. And really pouring it on now are the Falcons. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Here's Rawls. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 39, Minshew. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. This is Rawls. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Oliver, 31 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 29, Griffin. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Griffin. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They'll run with Dixon, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Dixon running from the shotgun, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Right, 53 is the mic. Are you getting the headache? Are you getting the headache?
On 2nd and 11 now, Griffin. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
On 1st down, Dixon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 5 now. Griffin, quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 7-yard line.
On 2nd and 7, Griffin. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Trying to pound it in with Dixon. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Check, 47. Here we go.
To throw is RG3, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll try and run. Edwards. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3, why should fourth down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and excited
rare.
is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
The drive begins with a run by Rawls. 10 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Minshew. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And able to find Conley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 21 yards there on 3rd down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Ready? 90, Wolf. Check 56. Too little, Duck.
Off the draw, it's Rawls. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Go now. 60 outlaws. I'm going to run you over.
On play action, they'll throw. Throw left side to his tight end, Swain. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with Rawls. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Salters free. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jeff Swaim there to make the grab. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Lambeau on for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Griffin. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a draw play with Dixon. And it fights through one man. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From just shy of midfield, Griffin. And his throw here's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down, and that looked like a clear face mask to me. And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
Here's Dixon. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Now it's Dixon. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
A run by Dixon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Griffin. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead there to make the grab. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Throwing again, Griffin. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
From the 31, Minshew into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You ain't going nowhere.
Here's Cunningham. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. They run with Cunningham. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Here's Minshew. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I'm going to get you all day, baby.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Exit.
Griffin. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Running out of the gun with Dixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Now on first, Dixon again. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
His throw caught right around the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now a handoff for Dixon, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's Kenneth Dixon who caps it off with a touchdown scamper. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They go with Cunningham. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. On the return is Jones. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Ravens taking the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They'll run it with Dixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 9, Griffin throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Dixon, and they can't corral him. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. G3. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On first down, Dixon. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, All you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. He'll look to throw. Snead's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up first and goal. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Throwing now is Griffin. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And I think they might have something in this young rookie quarterback because he certainly looked the part.
I have to ask you a question. Are you thinking similar to what I'm thinking? That these rookie quarterbacks, they come in more prepared than ever before?
Year after year, they just seem more comfortable from day one.
I think you start really young now. These quarterback coaches, they play against a better competition. They go to camps across the country. Then they play big-time games in college. So when they get to the NFL, it's not quite the same, how would you say it, pressure that they felt in years past. And these kids just go out and perform.
And keep in mind, he led them to a road victory here, even more impressive. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire